Hello. I know this is like unconventional, but I was about to lay down for a nap and I don't know, I just got this sudden feeling that I needed to film this video. Don't mind my unicorn onesie that I'm wearing. Should I keep it up? Is that too ridiculous? It's really cold right now. It's like 1 degree outside or something. And yeah, I just needed something warm to put on. I went to the DMV today. That was real fun, as it always is. But yeah, I wanted to take a nap because I'm exhausted. I didn't really sleep last night. I've had a busy last couple of weeks. It was actually my birthday over the weekend on Saturday. And yeah, it was a good day. I had a good weekend, but I'm kind of exhausted from work, and I was working like 9 days straight so that I could have the weekend off. When I'm not working, I've been organizing my house, getting a space set up to record videos. Of course, I'm not using that right now, but I just really felt called to talk about something. As a writer, most of you don't know, but I've been a writer for most of my life, and I actually do it as part of my job now. I've done freelance writing for years. Sorry, my cat's right here and she's so sweet and she just wants me to pet her. But I don't want to call them downloads because, downloads, because I don't really like that word. It's too techy, I guess. But you'll hear other, spiritual people talk about downloads, like messages from the universe that they get. I'd prefer to call them whispers, probably. Yeah, whispers from the universe is kind of cute. But a lot of that comes through like when I'm writing. Like I channel certain messages when I'm writing. It's like something takes over me and takes on a life of its own. And I was writing recently and a message came to me about grieving people who are still alive. And if you're watching this, there is probably a message here for you. And if you're part of this collective, I think you'll understand what I'm talking about. I know that I've gone through it, recently. Over the last several years, I have, but it's definitely been weighing on me that this is a message that is not only for me, but for everybody who feels called to watch this. So if you have lost people recently, friends, family members, they're still alive, but you've either had to cut off contact or, move forward with your life in a way that you see fit that they may not agree with. Or if you've just simply outgrown people and you're trying to find a new community for yourself, then this message is for you. You're not alone, and I hope that that's what you do take from this, is that you're not alone and it happens to everybody. And it may be happening to you right now, where you feel the need to reconnect with yourself over other people. And it's not an easy thing to deal with, but I'm here to support you. And the writing part comes in that I started writing down my thoughts on this, and I'm gonna kind of reference those notes here and also just state what I'm feeling in the moment, but I hope that it's helpful for you. I'm filming this part later, but I'm probably gonna place this in near the beginning of the video. But I just wanted to note that this video, I mean, if it found you, I'm gonna trust that it's for you. But if this video found you and you are someone who harms others or who has done something negative and, you've lost people because of your own actions, then this video is not for you. This is not for situations where you have been harming people. I think you need to take a good look at yourself and the situation if you think that you are part of this group that I'm talking about right now. Honestly, you need to just have good self-reflection and realize, hey, my actions are not good and I need to adjust from there. And I just wanted to add that in because this video is gonna be for people who have lost others in their life but who aren't necessarily the cause of that. So just wanted to add that. Love ya. I also want to note that I'm gonna be filming wherever I feel like filming that day. I'm gonna have whatever I want in the background. Some people were pointing out to me in some of my shorts that like, this is your channel. Yeah, it is my channel. So if I want to film from my bed right now and I'm low energy, but I feel called to do this, then that's what I'm gonna do. So hopefully that's okay with you. If not, then feel free to go to a different channel where it's consistent and they're gonna have a setup for you that's exactly the same every day, and that's fine. I mean, I did just set up a YouTube area, which I'm not using, but I'll change the decor. This is just what I do. I like to rearrange furniture. I like to, I like variety, the spice of life. Anyways, so the topic at hand that I'd like to discuss today is grieving people who are still alive, still with us. I think this is something that doesn't get talked about enough. We do talk about grief in the form of loss of life, which is very tragic and difficult to deal with. But in my opinion, it may even be a little bit harder to grieve people who are still on earth with us because, it's harder to let go of someone who still exists on this plane. And there's a lot of love for those people, maybe anger, hate, sadness. All those feelings are still there from grief, but it's not as socially accepted to take time out to grieve those people. And sometimes we don't even allow ourselves to do it. It doesn't matter if it's socially acceptable. It doesn't feel acceptable to ourselves. I had to grab another pillow. But as part of this collective, I think that if you are drawn to this channel, if you are here, then I think that you're part of what I'm talking about here. And that's like maybe an excessive amount of people that you've had to cut off, whether it's friends, family members, partners, all kinds of people from different walks of life over the last several years. Or maybe those people have left you or cut you off, and you find yourself in a place of feeling lonely and a loss of community or a loss of a certain, pillar in your life. And if that's you, then I've written some things down here that I hope will help, and I hope that this reaches you, and I know it will. A lot of this might sound like really basic, but I think you need to hear it. So first of all, waiting for closure from a person, from a group of people, from a situation in your life is gonna probably keep you feeling stuck. And I think a lot of times we do that. We keep ourselves in this cycle of, oh, I can't move forward until I get X, Y, Z. And there are ways to cope with this, and I'm gonna talk about some of them. And these are things like I also have implemented, need to implement, and they'll make you stronger, okay? And I need you to take me really seriously because you need to give yourself the closure, because that person, those people, they are not going to give you the closure that you need. Even if you have the conversation, you're still going to crave their presence. You're still going to crave whatever they gave you that was a positive, right? And we often like overlook the negatives when we are removed from a situation. So you're probably remembering the best of times. And even if it was like the most perfect person, you know, there are still negatives. I mean, they're not in your life anymore for a reason. And even if you think there's not a reason, the universe took them out of your life. So there is a reason that they are not part of your life. They're not good for you. And maybe you can revisit that relationship sometime in the future. I'm not saying you can't, but I am saying that you need to give yourself the closure that you need in order to move forward. And so how do we do that? We can journal. And you can even start out with a really easy prompt. Just, I am grieving the loss of blank. Whoever that is, whatever group it is, whatever family member, whoever. I am grieving the loss of this person, and you fill in that blank because there's a person who came to your mind just now when I said that. And you see what comes out on paper. You see how that makes you feel. And acknowledging their unworthiness to be in your life and the reason that they're not in your life is very important here. It's also important that you know that acknowledging that unworthiness to be in your life doesn't make you unworthy. You are very worthy. And I'm telling you because you're here, and I just know that you are one of the most beautiful people on this planet, and that you want so much better for yourself and others, and you're gonna make such a difference in this world, and you're inspiring people just by existing, and you are worthy. And so I want you to go right. Please go right. My next tip is to do some kind of ritual. So I often do this when someone actually passes away, because for me, funerals, you know, going to a service and seeing someone buried and like open casket situations, or even not, they don't feel really like closure to me. And I usually do my own ritual when that happens, and you can do that for somebody who is still living. And so what I've done for funerals like that is I will, you know, get a picture of that person or some kind of object that reminds me of this person or one of theirs, and I will either write something about them, but in this case maybe something negative and what you want to release about this person, or it can be a positive thing. But you know, light a candle. If you write something that you want to release, you can burn the paper. You can even, you know, if it's like biodegradable products, you can go to a river and like let it wash away like whatever you need. You can make this a ritual for yourself. I mean, you know, back in the day during like high school and stuff, when there was a breakup, like I know my friends like would do bonfires and throw their stuff in the fire. I mean, whatever you gotta do, you know, as long as like it's environmentally friendly, I highly encourage that. I am big on the environment, but you know, do what you gotta do. Just release that person, make a ritual. You need to let it go. So take it seriously. And if you still need time to grieve this before you start doing releasing and journaling and whatever, that's fine. If you still need time to grieve, that's okay. But you also need to cut it down into smaller increments of time. So this isn't taking up, you know, a majority of your day. You're not ruminating in this negative headspace all day long. You know, limit yourself to 5 minutes, 10 minutes, cry, scream into a pillow, go on a walk, clear your head. Do whatever you need that's gonna allow you to feel the emotions, because a lot of times we block our emotions, especially for things like this. And It's really important to allow ourselves to feel, but to not wallow in this grief, this sadness. Just allow yourself a few minutes, a couple times a week, every day if you need to for a little while. But then after you grieve, go on and live your life. Do something positive. Have your favorite snack. Cuddle with your cats. Watch your favorite movie. Don't allow it to take up your entire day or your entire week or your entire month or year. I know that these feelings can really get a hold of you, and you can't allow them to continue taking hold of you day in, day out. You don't deserve that. Nobody deserves that. I'm sad for you because I can feel that you haven't been allowing yourself to fully live. You need to live your life. So take the time that you need and then move on, move forward, even if it's just for the day. And then you get to grieve again tomorrow, but just make the time and then let it go. And remember that this kind of thing is natural as we go through different phases of our lives. I think that you should look at it as shedding an old skin. The people in this collective, we are raising our vibrations and becoming a higher form of ourselves. And this kind of energy is just permeating right now for those of us in this collective. But it's really to teach us that we need to ascend and we need to become our higher selves. And not everybody can join you on that journey. Not everyone's part of that story, at least not right now. And that's okay. But ultimately, this is for your highest good. It may not feel like it. It may feel like trash. It may feel sucky. But you don't deserve to keep being hurt. You don't deserve to keep hurting yourself by holding on to this. And it's really important to find ways to let go. And on that note, I think that there are a lot of ways that you can become part of a community that does make sense to you. I think it's important for you right now to start getting out there again, rebuilding connections, building new connections that make sense for you. I think for some of you, there are people maybe from your past who you should reconnect with and that, fit maybe an old friend, maybe like an old boss or something. I don't know. I'm feeling that there's somebody from your past that you should reconnect with who connects with your values more than they used to. And if it's not that, there are ways to find people who vibrate at your frequency now, but you have to get out there. You can't do that, staying at home, not connecting with anyone. I mean, I guess you can online, but you also need to get out in the real world. You have to do real world things that speak to your soul. If you are a sports person and you haven't been doing that, then go out there, join some kind of club, start working out, take tennis lessons, join a soccer league or something. Or you can always meet up with people if you've been called to volunteer. Go start doing volunteer work. I know what app is that? I think it's called Meetup. And you can look at any interest that you have. There are people in your area who are wanting to do that. Join book clubs. If you're into traveling, then you can look into something like astrocartography. Where are the I don't know if it's ley lines, but the lines that cross, where is your soul supposed to go? It's based on your birth chart and stuff, I believe. And astrocartography. I don't know too much about it, but there are places that your soul is meant to go and to see, and places that are, if you're looking into moving, there are ideal places for you to live based on your astrology chart if you're into that. And and being part of this community as well, and hopefully, you know, as we build this stronger, I can open up more channels for us to communicate and for the group as a whole to communicate, because I think that there are a lot of like-minded individuals who are interested in leveling up, who are interested in their spirituality and feel like they're becoming a new person now. They're becoming their strongest self and letting go of people pleasing, letting go of things that no longer serve you, including these people that you're grieving, people that you know aren't good for you. And remember, there's a limit to how much you can give, especially as a group of probably former people pleasers. I think that we have to remember that you can't pull everybody to the finish line with you. It's just not possible. I have to let my cat in. I'll be right back. Well, I guess that nap is officially not happening. Maybe me feeling called to make this was the universe's way of telling me that I need to fix my sleep schedule, so I shouldn't nap this late. But I just wanted to come over here to like the outside and show you guys the weather. It's gonna be cold. I'm all like flushed now too because I'm so passionate about what we're talking about, but it's cold, but I love it. I was in Florida for years and this is so nice to have just cooler weather. I love it. All right, back to the regularly scheduled programming. I want to take just a second to say that I'm super proud of you for setting firmer boundaries and being true to yourself, because it's not easy when you have to leave other people behind. It never is. And whoever that person is that you know, grew up with, or who you had to leave or really restrict from your life and restrict access to you, that person, if you meet them again in this lifetime, then you're going to meet them as a stronger version of yourself, as a more whole version of yourself. And they can either meet you or not. And if they aren't able to do that, then you just know that, you know, maybe in another life, but not this one, because you're strong and powerful and amazing, and you don't deserve to feel like you're worth less than they are, or that you're worth less than what you deserve in this life, which is true happiness. You know, setting firm boundaries is difficult, and it's really amazing and badass of you. Really amazing and badass of you to stand up for yourself and become who you were truly meant to be. And I'm like getting emotional, I'm sorry. I just think it's really cool. I think it's really cool of you, and I'm just getting this like overwhelming emotion knowing that there are so many people who are finally standing up for themselves and finally being like, you know what, I am a good person. I am worth so much more than these people gave me, and I deserve to live a fulfilling and happy life and meet my true potential. And yeah, you are so cool, and I admire you. And here's a reminder that it's okay to cry. It's okay to cry from happiness, you know, being proud of yourself and other people. It's okay to cry and cry over these people that you've lost, the person that you've lost. Thank them for being part of your life and part of your journey. Thank them for being there for you when they were able to, and for the conversations that you had. And if they never were there for you, then, you know, thank them for teaching you the lessons that they did teach you. Whatever those are, even if they were negative, they helped you become the person that you are. They're part of your becoming now. And then release. It's okay to disconnect from things that no longer serve you, that no longer feel right to you anymore. I'm giving you permission. It's okay. You can hold space for yourself now where you didn't have space before. You have space now for new emotions because you're releasing the old, and now you are going to have so much more room for happiness and joy once you release. And you know what? If you want to go to a rage room, I highly recommend that. I've never done it, but I would love to. There's so much pent up rage, I feel like, also in this collective. And like, I feel like we never have gotten to release it. Like, maybe join a kickboxing class or something. That could be really beneficial for you. Like, yeah, do it. Let me know how it goes. Like, I would love to do that as well. So maybe we can like go together. I don't know. Or like, I'll post that I'm going and then you'll be like, oh, I should go. I don't know. We'll see. But definitely a rage room though. 10 out of 10. Gonna do it. 100%. And if you've made it this far into the video, then you get the privilege of hearing the biggest whisper that I got from the universe, which is that this person that you've been needing to release, or this group of people, they are in a prison cell that you've created in your own mind, but you're also in that prison cell with them. You have been stuck in there just miserable, but you're the one with the key, okay? You have the key to let yourself out at any time. And it's time now. I'm talking to you. It's time. You can unlock the door and let yourself free. And you know what? If you want to let them out at a later date and release them back into your life, this person, then you know you can do that. But you have the power. You're the one who has that key. This is your mind. This is your life. And it's your turn to live your life. Don't allow them to take it over, because they don't deserve to. You don't deserve to live in a prison. You don't deserve to live in a prison of your own creation or their creation. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that today is going to be the first day of the rest of your life. You're going to do your journaling. You're going to meditate. You're going to do what makes you feel good. And remember that you hold all the power in your life. You can feel weak from other people, but they can't take away what you hold inside of you, because you have ownership of that. And all that being said, I have so much love for you guys. You guys are my besties. I am so excited to be here, being able to share these whispers that I'm getting, or just nuggets of, you know, my thoughts. And I appreciate you so much. And you know what? I think I'm gonna pull a few cards in a little bit here. For those of you interested in the tarot portion, you can definitely stick around. If not, then I will catch you later. All right, so I did a little bit of a tarot spread here based on our topic of, you know, grieving someone who is still alive. And we have the Wheel of Fortune to represent you in the situation right now. And that can talk about how you are in the middle of a turning point in your life that you didn't necessarily initiate. So it's about fate, circumstances, timing, things that are beyond your control. And I think you're in emotional suspension right now. So like feeling like you're between different chapters of your life, or waiting for something to resolve itself, but you know it may never resolve itself, or it may never go back to what it used to be. And then the second one, we have the Two of Pentacles here, which represents the other person. And to me, that kind of looks like someone who's juggling a lot of different priorities. They may be emotionally unstable or just inconsistent, so they could be present one moment with you and then distant the next moment. And that doesn't necessarily make them a villain, but it does make them unable to hold emotional weight right now. So yeah, it's about inconsistency and imbalance. And then this is the Hierophant here, which talks about the relationship that you have or had with this person. And that was a relationship that felt significant and meaningful to you. And you felt like it was a bond that was really deep. It was something that you wanted to honor and protect and be loyal to, maybe longer than was healthy for you. And you probably felt like, oh, you don't give up on this kind of a relationship, or I don't want to betray them or myself. So that explains why maybe letting go feels wrong to you. And it's like your grief is tied to your belief system and not just the attachment that you have to this person. Next, we have the Seven of Cups, which I pulled for the lesson that they taught you. So that says that they were teaching you how easy it can be to like believe an illusion or confuse like their potential with the reality of what was going on. So you may have had a lot of hope, but it wasn't grounded in reality. And you learned how deeply you can feel for someone and emotionally invest in someone, but also that like you can betray yourself if the other person isn't giving you clarity. And it doesn't mean that you're, being foolish, but it's about having discernment in your relationships and about you learning how to choose truth over your fantasy or your wishes. And I don't know if I showed you that. And then we have the Seven of Wands, which is what's going to help you move on. And that talks about defending yourself, or like self-defense almost. So it's talking about protecting your emotional boundaries, even if you have nostalgia or guilt or like a longing to be around another person or people. And it's about a conscious decision to stop dealing with this, to stop reopening old wounds. You don't need to explain or justify your boundaries anymore, or you're starting to come into that emotion where you feel like you don't need to defend it anymore. You just need to have the boundaries and stand your ground. It's about self-respect. And then we have the Knight of Swords, and that's talking about how you can kind of reconnect with yourself here. And that advice tells you to move through the situation with honesty and mental clarity. So naming a truth, speaking it out loud, writing it down, which is all stuff that we talked about. And confronting thoughts that you've been avoiding. Like, be honest and true with yourself. Do that journaling we talked about. Meditate on this. So moving forward is going to come from your momentum, and moving forward, not ruminating, doing the things that you need to do to get through the day. And if you need to take your 5 to 10 minutes, then do that, but do not ruminate on these thoughts. It's not a cycle anymore. You are breaking the cycle. Lastly, we have the Two of Cups, which is your message from the universe here, which shows you that your future has mutual respect and love in it. So it's not saying that it wasn't real before, but you need a give and take with the people that you allow into your life. So you need to look for balanced connections and understand that they exist as well. And that is part of your future, because otherwise it wouldn't be here. But I also think that it's talking about restoring harmony within you, meeting yourself with the same, energy that you were giving to the other person. Give to yourself what you deserved out of that connection, and your new connections are going to fulfill you in ways that you needed the entire time. So I wish you guys the best. Thank you so much for being here. I hope this helped you, and I'm sending you all of my love.